Welcome to my channel. Most men walk through life blind to the signals. Women sin not because they're foolish, because they were never taught to look. And when it comes to married women, the signals beam even more complex, more Eliad, more silent. Sean tells attracted to Sean flirt in obvious ways. Sean sent late-night texts, or beg for attention. Instead, she leave behind a trail of micro-behaviors so subtly feel like static in the background. No less yak know how to tune in. But let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed the way a married woman lingers when you speak, the way her laughter lasts? It's a second too long, like she's not wing ath joke but a feeling you give her orth way. Her eyes often when you say something deep, like she's suddenly in a world where she isn't to pretend. That's not politeness, that's not coincidence. That's emotion weak, because when a woman is marriage bearisher, feelings deep under loyalty, routinian, the weight of doing the right thing but desire, real feminine. It doesn't follow rules that leaks. It shows up in her tone, in her present scene, the pauses between her words, shows up when she asks Yawa about your dreams, and listens like no one else ever has. Adds up when she mentions her husband. Both her eyes is skewed to say something and never would, and most men miss it. But ya once, because today we re 5 subtle signals a married woman shows when she's secretly drawn to if she tries to fight it. The syringuises, these are psychological purse itself. Retoidi deco death-silent language of family traction, even when it's wrapped in wedding vows and careful smiles. Keep watching beaks. Once you learn how to see her signals, you'll never be blind again. Let's get brutally honest for Amit. Today's world attraction doesn't follow clean-cut lines of fairy tales or romantic movies. It's not always a bow. Single people locking eyes across rooms. Sometimes desire brews in the places. Sometimes a woman will be taken with earring on her finger in a life that looks complete. Finn herself magnetically drawn to Ammon, who awakens something she hasn't felt in years. And here's what most men didn't understand. Doesn't cancel attraction. It super says it. And the more deploy it's buried, the more powerfully it leaks through. Subtle signals that most guys ignore, but high awareness. Men like Ho can learn to take those cues with surgical pressure. You see, a married woman will never just say she's end to you. That would violate everything. She's built trust, the persona she wears. So instead she hints, she signals and coach. She flirts in shadows, not spotlights. San. What makes this topic subpsychologically deep is that Sama Ramvan, she doesn't consciously know watches doing her behavior shifts, not buff. She plants it, but because her subconscious starts craving your presence more than she can admit, even toward. Maybe she laughs too hard, to her jokes. Maybe she touches her necklace when you speak. Maybe her eyes sparkle in conversation. Drop when someone else walks in. Each of these is a micro-confession, a clue, a breadcrumb, that trail, afrepressed, emotion, and feminine, longing. But here's the twist. The signals arise at admiss, if you're just watching her math. You have taught your Sanche her bid language. The way she created excuses to be near fewer. How responds to leave these moments, carry more a truth than 1,000 spoken words, and is where stoic awareness comes in. Because if the mana doesn't react emotionally, the man well observes with calm detachment, that he's one whose eyes everything herods. The undercurrent feels the shift in an. This video isn't about seduction. It's not about manipulation, about insight and strength, to recognize a woman, isolantly invent emotional connection. If society, say shouldn't in next few moments we'll uncover th5 deeply hidden signs. A woman no goes off and she's quietly, emotionally and veneratically trained to you. These eyes are backed by male psychonaut fantasy. If you've ever wondered if being polite or there's a nothing more thesis, the video that will give it you clarity. Stay focused. What you're about to learn may change how you see every woman who enters your life forever. Senyuan, her behavior changes in micro moments. You trigger ash if she can't control. When a married woman is secretly attracted to thievery, atmosphere around her changes the moment you walk into the room. Most men miss this because if they refocused on what she says, but the truth hides in how she changes her tone, her breathing, the way she shifts her weight to Cheshirist or ranges necklace. She wasn't even thinking about all the comic voluntary. Your masculine pretend may suddenly become more animate, more playful, or paradoxically quieter, and more effectively because your energy enters her emotional space, triggering a Ripley effect in her nervous system. This is conscious attraction spillically and psychological. A sparks didn't intend but now can't turn off. She might begin fixing her hair when you're in ear, glancing at you when you're not looking, laughing at things you say, fatter and even funny. She might even seem nervous around you, fidgeting, govering of blushing over nothing. Art performances. The Ceros, Leos in her emotional armor. Stoic men observeth. This not with arrogance, not with ego, but with clarity. Bess. Real attractionist in the words. It's in disruption of her self-control sign. Number 2. She shares details that feel personal, but not too personal. When a married woman is drawn to you, she walks up psychological teeth. She wants to close her, but she doesn't want to feel like she's crossing the line. Oris, getting caught emotionally exposed. What do? She starts revealing herself just enough. She tells you stories about her past, mentions her childhood memory, shares her favorite books, movies, or things that made her. She opens up about a fear, a passion, or a private frustration, and immediately softens it with a laugh. Or, I didn't know why. I just told you. That safe disclosures are real. A touch is disclosing how you'll respond. I feel lenient, connect deeply without being pushier. Her trust grows. Her emotional walls begin to erode, not because she wants an affair, but because her feminine spirit is longing to be not just heard. This kind of emotional vulnerability. Ice, attraction in its purest form. A woman won't open up to a man she doesn't feel safe with or curious about. When she shares her emotional world with you, it means you've already entered at sign number 3 here. Eye contact breaks early, then hides behind them. When a married woman looks at you a little too long, then quickly looks away, or when she pretends not to notice you but checks your reflection on a window, a mirror, or a glance. When she thinks, or not watching, that's not just observation thought, that's emotionally her eyes, trying to weather words. Can't prolonged eye contact from a married woman. A special eyeshadow that make it a habit with her assist one of the clearest indices of attraction. But what's even more telling is what happens immediately after. If she laughs, nervously plays with her hands, or suddenly focus on Elsa shows over creek trying to regain emotional control, that's how you know it was real. And if she holds that gaze with intensity, softness, or playful colleague, uses letting her guard down. Intentionalities, not just the look that's a silent invitation taken. A few have the strength not to react emotionally. A stoic man never rushes and lets her eyes speak and listens without chasing, because desire is most powerful when it's unspoken and respected. Sign number 4. She said you to her husband without realizing the tone of the most overlooked is we. A married woman begins bringing her husband into the conversation, not to build a wall but to create contrast. She might say things like, my husband doesn't like that kind of movie, but you always have. He never really listens to me like that. You didn't get to talk about these things at home. These statements are not about about emotional testing, opening a window. Not why do not be seen through the others, but just enough for you. Tinnitus. She wants to see, do you offer some meth deeper, something stronger, some meth more emotionally grounding than what she already has. And she's not just observing words. She's absorbent, where presents how you make her feel, how you hold space, how you listen without judgment, all or need. This kind of contrast is powerful and dangerous. Bess, one shesh feels emotionalizer with youth on the man. She sleeps next to her. Attraction shifts from curiosity to emotional dependency. That's a bond. Mossmen don't even know 3 building go. It's too late. Sin number 5. Excuses to linger in your presence. Anon feels guilty about this is the most Dalinar, and telling Zamra woman who feels drawn to you will find subtle ways to be around you. Maybe she happens to show up where you are, or assess you for help with things. She could easily do herself or walk slower when you and Irby or starts. Conversation should not really need to happen just to keep you talking. But what's more revealing, her desire to around you is her behavior afterwards. Do act distant or overly formal, or even slightly cold. Why? Because her attraction left a trace of guilt. She treats to emotionally pull back to convince herself it's not. Bite is in the back and forth is absolutely blurred. A stoic man didn't exploit this. He doesn't push or provoke. Simply remains present, strong, centered, because a knows theatral power isn't in taking what isn't hers and understanding what others are afraid to admit. When a married woman seeks your presenter assists, it then seeks it. It means your emotions are now entangled with you. And sometimes that's a more powerful attraction than anything physical. Here is truth. Most men never realize until it's too late. When a married woman shows subtle signs of attraction, it's not just about you, it's about what you awaken in her. It's about a piece of her that's been quiet for too long, the part of her that's still alive, still vibrant, still searching for a spark that reminds her what shoes before the routines, the silent emotional disconnect, more than a temptation. You become a mirror, one that reflects not just her beauty, but her desire to feel alive again. And that's where their power lies, because attraction is spousy from someone who taken is really about crossing lines. It's about connection. It's about feeling understood in a world that stopped listening. It's about a man tried to pauses, but witness shouldn't seduce butsies who doesn't chase but stand still powerfully. You didn't need to make her, you just need to become the kind man whom question why she feels so drawn to you in the first place. And the brother is the essence, obsolete dominance, off-grounded masculinity, of living in such a way that women, you not because of your words, but because of your presence. If this message awakens something in you've started to recognize isn't used to look, then it's time to stop playing game. Like every other mania, we're made to be average. You air mad, observe deeper, speak less radio, SARS, your next move. Hit that subscribe button not just for contempt, for clarity. Turn on the notification bell because the next video might reveal something that rewires how you see every woman from this moment forward. And drop a comment below. I choose presence over pressure. Let the world know you're other to impress. You're here to body hat Mossman fear. True masculine stillness. This is where an eyes earn through restraint, where women chase what they can't. Fine.